Just Energy with naturopath and medical intuitive Dr. Rita Louise. We have learned from Einstein's theories that matter and energy are one. Physicists believe that all systems in nature have their own particular way of vibrating. From the swing of a pendulum to the waves in the ocean to the light that brightens the sky each day, each of these oscillates at its own unique rate. In the same way, things such as rocks and minerals vibrate very slowly and at speeds that are imperceptible to us. Living things such as plants, animals, and man vibrate faster and appear to be alive. The same holds true for every thought, feeling, event, or word we speak. Each has its own frequency or rate of vibration. What many of us don't realize is if we take everything in our own universe down to its simplest form, it is all just energy. Join Dr. Rita as she explores questions such as, what are we made of? Why do we get sick? How can I live a more balanced and whole life? Call in and talk to her and her thought-provoking guests. Send us your questions and get the help you need to move beyond any obstacles or challenges that may be affecting your life, right from the source. So stay tuned and explore your possibilities.
Hello and welcome to Just Energy Radio. I'm Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show today. It is the Friday before Valentine's Day, and since we talked about relationships last week, we're going to be talking about something completely different. We're going to be talking about aliens. Although aliens, relationships, we might find something in common. Hey, it could happen. But today we're going to be talking about evidence of human-alien contact. Very interesting topic. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that before we bring my guest Derrel Sims on, but I have a couple of announcements. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, February 27th and 28th is the Wellness Expo in Fort Worth. I'll be there on Sunday the 28th speaking about medical intuition. Also, the big Texas Ghost Show put on by the Texas Society for Paranormal Investigators will be held March 12th and 13th at the Beaumont Civic Center. They do have some VIP tickets left available. You can get more information about that event at www.txparanormal.com. And a shout out to all my Minneapolis friends. I will be coming back to town. I will be at the Spirit Spectacular Expo. That's March 27th and 28th at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Minneapolis. For more information about that event, go to www.spiritspectacularshows, that's with an S.com. I'll also be doing a presentation Friday night in Minneapolis. Don't have a location yet. And actually, if you're my friends that are in Des Moines, I will be stopping in Des Moines on Thursday, I have to count out days. That's hard. The 25th. More details to come about that. So today we're going to be talking about aliens. And to do that, we're going to be talking to my good friend Derrel Sims. I met Derrel at the History Haunts and Legends Conference in Jefferson this past year and got to talk to him, went to dinner, had a great time. Got to listen to his presentation. He talked about stuff. I've been doing this show for a long time, and kind of up on UFO stuff, watch all the Discovery Channel stuff about it. I got to know everything. I'll tell you what, he has information that I never even heard of or even thought about. So we're going to find out all about human-alien contact and evidence. So let me tell you a little bit about Derrel and get him on. More than 40 years ago, Derrel had his first encounter with an alien presence. As he grew older, he experienced a malignant contact with these alien beings that would alter his life forever. As a result, at a young age, Derrel made his decision that he would no longer willingly be victim to their bizarre quests. Determined to change his role in life from being the hunted to the hunter, he began to equip himself mentally, physically, and intellectually to become a warrior for his cause and to assume the role he was born to play. Derrel Sims, is the alien hunter. Hey, Derrel, how was that intro?
Hello, Doc. How you doing?
I'm great. It needed that boom, boom, boom to tie it all together.
Oh, you're a trip. That's fine.
Well, it's easy to be trippy around you because you're kind of a trip back, and I think this is just going to be a fun visit. and I'll get to hear more about your work because I think it's fascinating, and the listeners will get to hear about the great stuff that you're doing because, like I said, you watch UFO hunters or, the different discovery things, or, you read books about UFOs, but, they talk about Roswell, now they talk about Rendlesham, but they talk about the events. They don't talk about the aliens. They don't talk about any kind of physical evidence or, it's kind of, as I was saying before we went on air, it's kind of like in the ghost hunting world where, people that talk about ghost hunting talk about it from the investigating point of view and using this meter and that meter and going into locations where when I go into it, I have a totally different perspective on the topic. And so when I'm speaking about ghost hunting, it comes from a very different place, and it sounds, the intuitive place, and it sounds like when you talk about aliens and, contact with aliens, it's from a totally different point of view of what you're looking for and that whole thing.
It is quite different. My perspective comes differently for a couple of reasons. Number one is most UFO investigators, period, in the UFO phenomena are not abductees or contactees. They have never had an experience. So the best information they're giving you is what somebody else told them that they hope is true. They actually don't know.
Wait. You're an abductee?
That is correct.
I'm not even sure if I should ask you what that whole thing was like. I mean, other than probably weird.
I don't mind telling because I've told it before. The bottom line is that my experiences started when I was 3.5, almost 4 years old. And 1952, this was long before Betty and Barney Hill or any of those type things. And I had no clue as to what an alien was or ghost or anything like that. I mean, I was raised in a normal, average, vanilla family, so to speak. We're pretty average in every sense of the word. And so to me, it was just I just didn't have any frame of reference to put it in. I mean, I was in my room one night. It was cold. It was the winter time. I was about 3.5 years old, nearly 4. And Mom had tucked me in. Everybody had gone to bed. And now I'm telling the story from what I know now, as opposed to just as a little boy in the event, because I know a lot more about the story now because of after investigating over 1,000 cases worldwide and doing this for about 40 years, and with a policing background and a hypnotic anesthesia therapist and a licensed private investigator in the state of Texas, worked in the Central Intelligence Agency for 2 years during the Vietnam War. So I bring a heavy policing background to the investigative aspect of this phenomena. So basically, I'm lying in the bed, and what I know now is that I had just been dropped off. The event's over, and he's leaving. The entity is leaving the room. I use the word entity because I'm not really sure what an alien is yet. I mean, everybody says it's this, it's that, but nobody really knows. Nobody's proven anything yet. They're real, and they have some pretty bizarre things they do, and we'll cover that in this interview. But basically, he's leaving the room. And to my shock and amazement, I'm not stunned. I'm not sleep paralysis, not having a bad dream, not paralyzed, not scared. And I just kind of look up, lift my head up, and look up there, and I see this white being with a large bulbous head, real skinny and spindly, walking toward the wall. Now, I can't really figure all that out. Why would you be walking toward a wall? There's no door. I didn't know that thing walks through a wall. I call it nuking a wall, where they basically make a wall where they're able to go through it. So as I thought to myself, what is that? It turned around and looked at me because it realized that it's in touch with me mentally, and it's hearing me think. And I'm really puzzled at this point because it turns around and looks at me with these large, black, round eyes